Good morning. Good morning. Hey, you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Last day of packet 4. Hello, hello. Come on in. Good morning, Miss Yui Tyson. Good morning. Good morning. It never fails that my house phone rings all the ways around this time. You guys come on in. Your do now is on the screen. Come on in, answering that do now question. Good morning, Capricorn King. Unfortunately, I'm unable to fulfill your request to be in my live video right now. You're coming on in and you're answering the question on. Good morning, good morning. If you had a platform to tell others about your cause, how would you do it? Good morning to you. Would you make a public service announcement, i.e. a commercial? Would you create a rap, a poem, or a spoken word performance? Thank you. I know who it is. Thank you so much. Good morning. Or would you maybe do it another way? If so, how would you do it? If you'll go ahead and write in the comments below, I want to tell my cause A, or I want to tell my cause by doing B, I want to tell my cause by doing C. Good morning, Miss Chick. Good morning, Mr. T.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
I had tried to get on my other name, Miss Radden, and you Capricorn King. That's me, just in case you see that again.
All right, so again, you guys, your do now is up already on the board. If you had a platform to tell others about your cause, remember, you already chose a cause. How would you do it? Would you do A, make a public service announcement, i.e. a commercial of some sort, or a public service announcement? B, create a rap, a poem, or a spoken word performance, i.e. do it in a speech. Okay, somebody said A already. Or C, maybe there's another way that I haven't thought of and you might want to do. And if so, what is that? Okay, Mr. T, what's all this?
I had no idea. You know what? I had no idea what I'm doing.
Okay. All right, we're having a whole lot of fun here this morning. Come on in this room. Good morning to everybody. I know it's hilarious. All right, some people are writing in A. Hopefully you're getting that. You're getting these people who are in, Mr. T.
I am. I'm getting everybody.
Okay. Good morning, Band Up Aaron.
So glad you're here.
Good morning, Money for Jordan. Hey, hey. Come on in here. Your do now is up on the board. If you had a platform to tell others about your cause, how would you do it? Would you make a public service announcement or a commercial of some sort? Or would you do B, create a rap, a poem, or a spoken word performance, i.e. a speech? And a C, maybe there's another way. You choose A. Okay, we'll talk about that. Good morning, good morning. Come on in here and you're answering the do now question. Somebody's having an issue of some sort. This is Ryan. Can I pick two? I'm stuck. Okay, yeah. Well, show me what two you want to. All right, you're stuck between A and B. Okay. All right. So you might want to know which one, and you might have to go to the drawing board. And we're gonna talk about that. I see your money for Jordan. You're choosing B. I can't see the do now question. It's up above. It's above Mr. Thornton's head. It says, if I had a platform to tell others about your cause, how would you do it? Would you make a public service announcement? That's A. Would it be B, create a rap, a poem, or a spoken word performance, a speech? Or C, maybe you could do it another way, and I just haven't thought of what way that could be. That is the question, Alexa 4382. And if you're not able to see any of us on the screen, I would ask that you probably sign out and come back in. Okay, you saying A? Okay. Are you not able to see, Alexa? Good morning, UNV Ray. Good morning, Lonnie. Hey, come on in. If you're just coming in, you're answering the do now question. If you had a platform to tell others about your cause, how would you do it? Would it be A, make a public service announcement, such as a commercial you would make? Or B, maybe you want to rap it, or maybe you want to write it in a poem, or maybe you want to do a spoken word performance where there's a speech. Or maybe it's C, maybe there's some other way, and I just never thought of it. And if so, how would you do that? Be that creativity in your corner. All right? I'm going to wait a few more minutes. I just wasn't able to see the words on the top, but I can see it now. Okay, very good. Then go ahead and answer the question. Thank you so much. Mr. Thornton, you got who that is, right?
I do.
Thank you. So we have just...
I am taking attendance, so tell your friends, come on, you guys get credit. We are in fourth quarter. We're going to talk about that later, but we're in fourth quarter, so make sure you're on here.
All right, so let's go ahead and make sure you're answering this public service. And I'm saying you're answering the do now. Excuse me. I'm getting all tongue-tied over here because I have so much information to give you. All right, about another 2 minutes, and then I'm going to be done with that. Tell your friends. I only got 10 people in this room. Tell your friends to get online. This is the most critical time because I am talking about the assignment that is going to be due. If you're missing today, not saying you can't look at it later, but I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be pretty important so you know exactly what's happening. All right? So get online, text your friends, get in that group me, tell your friends. Lost Mr. Thornton there for a second. Maybe he'll come on back. Not sure how I lost you. Good morning to you, Discon. Come on in, answer that do now question real quick up top. No time for play. We got to go for real. So come on in here and answer this question. Now you're going to get an opportunity to tell it your way. How would you do it? A, a public service announcement. B, create a rap, a poem, or spoken word speech. Or maybe C, there's another way that myself or Mr. Thornton hadn't thought about and you want to do. Put A, B, or C in the comment section below. We have about another 30 seconds. All right, don't leave. Just send them a text. I don't know what you need to do, Jay. Okay, thank you. All right, Discon, I see you. You got B on there. All right, people are coming in. Good morning to you, Golden Nugget 3TS. Or that's Golden Nuggets. Thank you. Got the 3 is the E, huh? Okay, I got you. Good morning, Naya. Good morning. Come on in. We're talking about the do now question, which is up above. I need you guys to go very quickly because I'm ready to move on. We have so much to deal with today. All right. So if you had a platform to tell others about your cause, how would you do it? You got a choice. A, make a public service announcement like a commercial. B, create your own rap, a poem, or a spoken word performance, which is a speech. All right, Naya, I see you want to do A. Ow. Okay. Golden Nugget, what you trying to do? Or maybe there's another way. I just didn't think of it. I wanted to leave that for those creative people. Let's think outside the box.
Hmm. Think about
Do
your
we have to tell
cause.
you why? No, I just wanted to know what you were thinking. But I'm going to go ahead and get started because we have so much to do. Good morning to everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, let's talk really, really quick about term 4 mattering. Go ahead, Mr. T. You want to tell them something real quickly?
Yeah, so you all are starting right now with no grades, right? So term 4 matters. You have to turn in your work. You have to do the assignments because that's going to determine your grade. For the grade for quarter 3, you all started off with the grade and the work that you did changed that for the better. But now you're not in that same position. Now you have to do the work because we don't have anything else for you. Okay, so Miss Strickland talked about, for the students who want to be on the honor roll, for students who have, for athletes who are going to the next school year, you want to, even if you're going to high school, you have to have a certain GPA. So make sure that you all are doing all of your assignments and turning them in. Term 4 is really short. I think we have, what, 3 weeks, Miss Radden?
Yeah, we probably have, well, next week's is, yeah, we're in May. So we only have about 4 weeks left after that. And so you really, really, all the grades and everything that we're doing, it matters across all of your classes. So don't be fooled to think that you're going to get any kind of grade. It's going to be the grade you earn. So come on in here, participate. That is grades that I am giving you. If you do not participate, that's a grade that you can't get. So make sure you're putting something in the lives, okay? So we're going to move on because there's so much that we have to cover. And every day we're going to talk about term 4 mattering so that you make sure that you make this make sense. So
Can
I'm
I, Miss
ending
Radden?
packet 4. I just want everybody to know today is the last day of packet 4. And what I did was something a little bit different. We didn't, if you notice, we didn't do any of the writing at all. And I'm okay with that. And you know the reason why? Is because I wanted to do a project-based learning assignment. And so I had you guys make posters. And if you didn't make those posters, you're past due. And I only got a couple. So I'm telling you now, that's a grade that you didn't earn. So don't get a 0 for something that you can do. All right, and we'll talk about that. But let's talk about the objective for the day. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to develop their platform to discuss their social cause in order to create an oral/multimedia project that informs others while making their voices heard. So today you're going to be learning about, good morning, young boy Reek. You're going to be making a platform or you're going to be creating something that's going to showcase us about what it is that your cause is and you want to talk about. All right. So I want to get your voice heard, but you're going to do it in a project form. So again, the writing assignment that's on page 19 in the packet does not exist for this assignment and go around. Thumbs up if you understand that your project is going to take the place of the writing. Very quickly, thumbs up. There will be no writing. Page 19 does not exist.
So if you do not have, if you're attending the lives, you do not have to do the writing. So that is a reason for you to come every day that we're doing lives.
That's it.
This is a
I'm going to flip quarter 4 on its head, which means that every time you attend a live, you get something a little bit more than the person that does not attend. So you could tell your friends, you know what, you might want to come to live because Miss Radden does something a little bit different. All right, so here we go. Like I said, we have a lot of ground to cover. And it looks like I have about 35 minutes, so I'm going to make it work. Here we go. All right. What cause are you supporting at this point? Excuse me. By now, you should have created a poster on postermywall.com. If you have not done that, you're already behind the curve. You are already behind the curve. That means you got to double time. You got to take care of that. And you got to take care of the assignment that's going to be due that takes a place of that writing assignment. I told you last class, Too Real Drew, I will deal with that later. Listen to what I'm saying, you guys. I am dealing in packet 4 only. I don't know why we get confused because we don't listen. So please get in a place that's quiet. If you're going to have to put in headphones so you can focus, do what you need to do. But packet 4, I have turned on its head. I didn't ask you to write an objective summary. I asked you to do a poster. So if you didn't do the poster, you better take care of business. Instead of doing the writing on page 19, I'm asking you to do this project. Who does not understand? All right. So here we go. Those posters should have been into us by now. So let's take a look. I want you to get inspired by some examples from some of your classmates. Some of your classmates were very diligent to do their work. And for that, they're being rewarded. All right. So their quarter 4 term grade looks good so far because they've been doing the work. So let's take a look at a couple of the ones that I have here. Someone did one on police brutality. And while they had theirs kind of like going a little bit, a little wavy print, if you see it live, it makes a whole lot more sense when you can see it up close and personal. All right. Band Up Earn did one. And his was actually a media presentation. And I thought this was really kind of dope. It was like a video, but it was about Black Lives Mattering. Okay. Let's take a look at some more people. All right. Somebody was talking about the spread and staying healthy about COVID-19. All right. So they used different images and they gave us different things you need to do. Maintaining social distances, avoid touching your face, XYZ. All right. Another one of your classmates did something about gun violence and gun control. It's time to do something about this. All right. These are the causes that they're going to be representing. And these are the causes that you're going to have to do your final project on. Good morning, King Zay 2150. Good morning, Self-Made Nay. Good morning, young boy Reek. All right. This last one here, this one by one of your classmates is about being black. Should it be a crime? So they're talking about
Racial profile.
Black Lives Mattering. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Did you say something, Mr. Thornton?
I was saying that's like racial profiling about the mistreatment of Black people.
Absolutely. So then their public service announcement or whatever it is, if they chosen a rap or a spoken word, is going to be based off of what they already have, this image that they've created. Good morning, Cool Butt Aaron. Okay.
Glad you're in class, sir.
All right, so let's talk about this. This is project-based learning at its finest, you guys. Project-based learning at its finest. All right. I'm the type of teacher, I could talk to you, I could have you read something, I could have you write something, but then I need to know that you know what that means. And so now I want you to show me. So now it's time for you to show and prove. And so let's go over all of what this project is about. All right. The project started with the question, what is activism? All right. And we talked about what activism was and how it's an act of bringing people together to know about your cause. And then you had to choose a cause. So the other question that you had, what social cause makes you want to speak out about the injustices that you see? And so that kind of really prompted you to figure out what made you want to holler and what things bother you when you see it. And you, if you had an opportunity to speak about it, you would. And that should have propelled your posters. That should propel your posters. So I had somebody send me something about turtle endangerment. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's a great cause, I guess. But I need to be able to see how that's going to work out in the end. All right. But if we're doing something like racial profiling or police brutality, or we're doing ending gun violence, or if we're doing the environmental causes and all of those different things, I'm for it. Okay. But I want it to be something that's juicy that you can get into. All right. So again, we started off with that question, and that question was, what makes you want to holler? Okay.
I think it does. I mean, it does have to be your passion. So if it's something that you're really passionate about, just make sure that that comes through with your whatever you choose to do. It should come through in your poster. It should come through in this project that you're about to do if you're really passionate about it.
All right. So the second part of that wheel talks about inquiry. All right. So at some point, what causes interest in you? What was of interest to you? It's the same thing Mr. Thornton just said. And what things do you may have a personal connection to? So if we're talking about police brutality or police profiling, racial profiling, you might know somebody that has gone through that, or you might have known somebody that might have been brutalized at the hands of the police. And so now you have a personal connection to that. And so now you can find out a little bit more about it. You can go further into it. You can make some conclusions about what's happening. All right. In order to be able to further your project. Okay. The third part on this wheel is your voice and choice. All right. It's your voice, your choice. All right. You can make your own decisions about your thoughts. All right. So ask yourself that question. I can do that. I can make my own decisions. How can I make my voice heard about the injustices that I see? So today's Do Now kind of took you right to that voice and choice. You told me if you wanted to be able to do a public service announcement. All right. So this takes you into your voice and choice. All right. Some of you all told me you'd rather do a rap or a spoken word or a poem. All right. Or a speech. Right. This is how you make your voice heard. Good morning, Ms. Strickland. Good morning, Mr. Hawkins.
And this
All
is
right.
also a chance for you all to think about what you're really good at. So, this is a great opportunity for those of you all who don't think that you're the greatest writers to really start thinking about, well, what do I do well? Maybe I am a rapper. Maybe I am a singer. Maybe I am, a poet. This is an opportunity for you to take your talents, not just what you think Ms. Radden and I want to see or hear, but something that you really do well, and then you can parlay that into your voice for your activism and do really well on this assignment.
Absolutely. So again, it takes the ownership, and I put it in your court. You can tell it to me any way you want to. Again, it takes you right back to your voice, your choice. All right? How you want to make that make sense. All right, the next part on that wheel when I'm looking at any project-based learning assignment is, what do people need to know? So as you consider your project, I want you, what do you need your audience to know about your cause?
Mm-hmm.
So
This
what's
is
really, really important to you, and what is it that you need to get across to people to make them passionate about what it is that you do?
And this is where you are educating the people about it. Like Mr. Hawkins, the last class, said something about the pipeline to jail. And some of y'all might have said, well, what is that? So this is an opportunity for you all to actually tell people this is what it is. And this is why it's not good, right? Think about, what do people need to know to join in with you in order to be engaged in your cause.
Absolutely. Good morning, K. Dior. And good morning, multifaceted monogene. Not sure who that is. Well, good morning to you both. All right. So again, we're looking at this whole project-based learning activity and what it is that you need to consider as we go along. All right. After you've done all of that, after you've chosen which way you want to tell it, and then you've made all your notations about the things you have to do, you're making your plans, you're revising and reflecting along the way. So as you make your plans, your rough drafts, you will need to reflect and possibly rethink things. Oh, that might not be enough. I might shouldn't say it that way. Maybe I need to consider it another way. And then when necessary, revise it so it's the best possible project that you can put forth. So always reflecting, always thinking. Good morning, Kelly. Reflecting and thinking, revising, right? You always want to put forth your best foot forward, all right? Your best efforts. You guys are now high school bound, and I'm going to be honest with you. It's time to step up to the plate, and I've been putting you up to the plate for a long time in class. Now it's time for you to knock it out the park. We've done projects before, and I want to see this project flourish. Okay?
I think this is also letting you know that you have to think about what other people might be thinking. So when we did our argumentative discussions, we talked about thinking about the other side, other points of view. You also have to
Mm-hmm.
do that when making a speech. What are other people thinking, and how do I appeal to them as well if they don't have the same passion that I have immediately? How do I make that their passion as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Mr. Walker. All right. And then you have to consider the audience. All right. And I'm going to pull on and tug on Miss Strickland and on Mr. Hawkins and on Mr. Walker and Mr. Thornton and myself. But for the purposes of this project, think the adults. We're your audience. You're appealing to us. So I need to be able to feel your passion in whatever it is or whatever part of the project you decide to do. I need to be able to feel your passion. Why should I care about the cause that's important to you?
So when you're considering your audience too, you have to consider also the language that you are using. This is really what's important. Having taught high school, I can tell you that if you are writing to your teacher and you're using a bunch of words in your rap or in your PSA that Ms. Radden and I may or may not know what you're talking about, then you have not done the job of speaking to your audience. So consider who you are talking to and make sure that you're writing or that you're presenting in a way that the adults understand.
Right. What I don't want you to feel stifled in is, however, say for example, you choose to do a rap, right? I know I need to be hearing about your cause. I need to hear about the good things, the bad things, the positive things. Now you might use one or two slang in that, and that's okay, right?
Hmm.
That's okay because I mean, I could just ask you what did that mean if I couldn't figure it out in the context of how you're using it. All right. And of course, I know this goes without saying. There's no cursing. That goes without saying. You have a vocabulary, you need to use it. Okay. So consider when you're writing that you're not writing to speak to someone else or speak to your peers, you're writing to speak to adults. So how are you going to get the message across? So think about when I was showing you the videos from the Stoneman Douglas shooting and how the kids did their rallies and how they spoke to different people. They were very eloquent in their speech, right? They didn't speak with slang or anything like that. They actually got across their voice. And people understood them whether they were young or whether they were old. So think about that. Okay?
Also think about the vocabulary that we have listened to before. That
Yep.
appeals to a wide variety of people, and it's still something that you all can get into, but it's also something that Miss Radden and I can get into and enjoy as well.
Absolutely. All right. So keep that in mind. So if you've decided that you want to do a PSA, which is the commercial phase of this, all right, here's what I want you to understand. And I'm looking at the bottom of the screen, and this might be for you to maybe screenshot really quickly or whatever. But these slides will be posted up after the live is over on both our pages, so you'll have this information. But a PSA is a public service announcement. This is your commercial where you're going to raise awareness about the issue. You changes to the public's attitude and calls us to action. So what I want you to think about is, when I think about these things, I think about the St. Jude commercial. All right. And at late at night, sometimes I'm up and I'm watching television, and St. Jude, and they got all the little kids, and the kids got all kind of problems and disabilities, and the parents can't pay, and it's one of those ones that pulls at my heartstrings. And when it's pulling at my heartstring, I'll be honest with you, I got right up out the bed, and I dialed the 1-800 number. And now I'm pledging $20 a month to help take care of somebody else's kid, okay, at St. Jude's. So think about that, or think about those commercials when you have like the dogs and the animals and the ASPCA, all right? So we're thinking about that. You want to raise awareness about whatever issue it is that you want to bring to the forefront. So if it was gun violence and you're going to do this public service announcement, you need to be able to have some graphics, some video, some something. Maybe you interviewed a person that had been a part of this gun violence, whatever it is, right? To bring awareness to us and how you want to have a call to change. Now, everything has to be in video form, so I do want you to know that. So if you thought it wasn't, trick bag. All right? Video. So here's the parameters in doing a PSA or a or a commercial. Your video must be no shorter than 30 seconds, but no longer than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So those are the parameters. If you chose A in the do now question this morning, that is your parameter. Your video can be no shorter than 30 seconds, and I'm clocking for it, but no longer than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. All right?
Remember, something visual needs to appeal to people. So if you might have chosen to do a PSA that's related to COVID, there's a lot of stuff going on now about COVID-19. And so you want to appeal to people's heartstrings, and you might want to show people who are sick from COVID and then say what we need to do. Stay 6 feet away, social distance, stay home. Remember to appeal to what people need to hear and to see in order to join your cause.
Absolutely. Can we type about our problems? I'm confused. What do you mean? Are you saying you're not going to do it in a video, but you want to just type it out? Answer quickly, because I don't want to.
Yeah, the format has to be a video.
It has to be a video, period.
So
All
it's
right.
going to either be
So
a video
if,
of you
for example,
presenting.
if they're thinking about doing like a Powtoon where you have like a graphic and the words come up on the screen that you typed, you can do that too. No, you cannot type about your problems. It has to be a video. Thank you. All right,
But there
moving
are
on.
PSA programs where you can have words on there,
Right, you have words on your screen.
but it's not a paper.
Yeah, it's not a paper. All right, if you guys have taken to the rap or the spoken word or the poem, right? You must perform it and videotape it. You must perform. So I'm giving you the options now. The first option was to do a public service announcement, King Zay 2150. We'll talk about it later. It seems like you might not have been in my classes the last couple of days, so you have no idea what we're talking about. So you need to talk to me offline. Thank you. So if you're going to do the option of a rap, a spoken word, speech, or a poem, you must perform that about your cause, your social cause, and videotape it and send it in. Here is the parameter. All right. Your presentation can be no shorter than 1 minute and 30 seconds and no longer than 4 minutes. And if you're using music and it might be, an instrumental track, I'm okay with that, but you got to give credit to who the music belongs to. So make sure at some point You say this music isn't owned by me. This music credit goes to Kendrick Lamar, whoever it is that you're using. Thank you so much to the class for answering King Zay's questions down at the bottom. All right. So again, if you're doing a rap, a spoken word, speech, poem, whatever it is, you're going to have to perform it. You videotape it. That presentation can be no shorter than 1 minute and 30 seconds, but no longer than 4 minutes. And I'm doing 4 minutes because if people are using music, sometimes they need a little bit more time to be able to get their point across. All right. Thumbs up if you're understanding thus far what you need to do. They have to pick one cause, though. They can't pick many causes. Only one. Thumbs up if you understand thus far what you need to do. I take it nobody understands. One person understands. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Coming on. 5.
Yeah, sounds like most people get it.
Okay, so it looks like most people are getting exactly what you need to do. All right. Okay, so I'm going to move on because, again, we have a lot to cover. Should you choose another way? You said, Miss Radden, none of these ways really appeal to me, and I really want an opportunity to do this my way. Guess what? I'm okay with that. However, you got to get a stamp of approval from either myself or Mr. Thornton before you begin your project. That means you can talk to us offline if you need to, because we got to give you that stamp of approval to say, okay, you didn't choose A or B. All right. You give us the idea, make sure you flush it out before you come and talk to us. And then we'll set the guidelines and any restrictions you may have or time limits. All right. So that's the mystery box. So nobody can say, I didn't get to do it my way. I'm giving you an option to do it your way. But again, it all has to be in video form. There is no writing. This is the one time you don't get to write because some writing is coming back your way. So take the opportunity of this now. Moving on. Let's talk about the rubric. Okay. I just like the colors of the Rubik's Cube, so I wanted to use that as my image. But let's talk about this, and this is going to be posted again. I'm going to post this on Canvas. I'm going to post this on my Padlet. I'm going to make sure that the slides today are all presented and up on our Instagram page, so there's no way to not know what is expected. Here we go. So let's look at the first category really quickly. And I'm only going to deal in the 10s. Is that okay with everybody? I'm going to deal in the 10. Because at this point, I'm all about you doing your best. All right? So you get 10 points in presentation if it's well rehearsed. That means you didn't just take that thing on the fly and you got all these mistakes and blubs, and bloopers and all that kind of stuff. It's with a smooth delivery. And it holds the audience attention. And the attention of the audience is myself and Mr. Thornton and any other adult that I decide to pull into this. Okay. All right. All right. Attractiveness. Uh-oh. You make excellent use of the fonts and the colors and the graphics and the effects and the different things that you're using to tell your story that enhances your presentation. That's how you're going to get another 10 points. All right. Again, I'm only dealing in the top tier. We're not dealing in the bottom. The minimum point you can get is 4 for each category. The minimum you can get is a 4. So I even took it up. So 4 technically is my 0. Okay? So we're dealing in 10. So I'm only looking at that last column. All right? All right, if I'm looking at the requirements, in order to get a 10, all the requirements are met and exceeded. So that means that you've done everything. So if you decided you're going to do a public service announcement and you made your video and it was no longer than the 2-minute requirement, and you had all of the other things on the rubric done, and it looked really well. It was well put together. The presentation was there. Da 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 da. You've hit the requirement and you've exceeded the requirement. You're gonna get a 10 in that category, right? Organization. All right, content is well organized using headings and bullet lists to group related material, all of that. So if you got something coming up and you want to tell it like steps 1, 2, and 3, right? And you got your bullets going and it's not all out of place and it's organized and it's well put together and it flows. It has fluid. You're going to get a 10 in that area. Thumbs up if you're understanding the things that we're looking for when I'm talking about this rubric. Thumbs up. Come on, because I only have a little bit of time, so either you understand or you don't. Right, there are no thumbs up, so I guess people are still... Okay, one person. Okay. Y'all, when you don't understand, and I'm looking for you to understand, please make sure you're responding to me, okay? All right, because if there's something that's not clear, I want to make sure it is clear for you. And I'm always available to you if you DM me. You know, when I'm available and I'm free, I'll answer you. Not a problem. You can hit up Mr. T. He'll answer you, respond to you. We all both have been there. I kind of do, but I will text you after. No problem. I appreciate that, Lonnie. No problem. All right. Let's take a look really quickly. The oral presentation. Oral means to speak. So every video at some point has some spoken word in it. Whether you did a public service announcement or whether you did a poem, a rap, a spoken word, a speech, whatever. All right. So that is how we're saying what we're saying when I say oral presentation. It's interesting. All right. And no disrespect. I mean, you know, I had somebody came up with, I told you about turtle endangerment. And I was just like, I was a little bit blown by their thoughts with that. And I know they probably get me after this video is over if they're here. But it needs to be interesting. It needs to be well rehearsed. It needs to have a smooth delivery that holds the person's attention. So when I think about that public service announcement about the St. Jude's, the person's voice was just, it was heart-wrenching and it grabbed my attention and it was interesting. It made me sit up at 2:30 in the morning and say, where's my credit card? I'm going to pay for somebody's child because somebody's child needs it. And if I had an animal, I might have done to the ASPCA. All right? But know that we want to make sure that it's well rehearsed, it's interesting, it's delivered, it's smooth, and it holds our attention. That's how you're going to get a 10.
You might even say that, you know, if you pick a cause that's really popular, I might even look for someone who is popular, who has spoken on it, and maybe add a couple of words in a video of them speaking on it, and then add my voice to that as well.
Absolutely. Sounds great. Sounds great. All right. We're looking at the content. It covers the topic in depth with details and examples. So that goes to what Mr. T just talked about, right? So maybe you found a video and somebody else was talking about your calls a little bit and you might want to sample 1 or 2 of their words. I don't know. All right. Or you put a little bit of them in your video presentation. Absolutely. All right. Subject knowledge is excellent. If I can tell that you know what you're talking about, you're looking at a 10. All right, originality, because I can't even begin to tell you, you need to be creative. This is where I think you guys flourish the most, because many of us in this bunch are very creative beings, and I want to be able to bring out that creativity, all right, or that originality. So product shows a large amount of original thought. All right. So while you might look at somebody else to draw inspiration from, I want to be able to see your original thought. Your ideas are creative and inventive. All right. It starts something. I can see that, you know, with a little bit more work or a little bit more adding on to this could kind of blow up into something big. Like when I think about the never again movement that we talked about just the other day. So think about that originality piece. All right. So, warning, due dates are closer than they appear. Uh-oh. So I know you all want to know, when is this project due? I'm so glad you asked. Here you go. This project is due on Monday, May 4th. So tomorrow is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday at 11:59 p.m. If you go into Tuesdays, not that I'm not going to take your assignment, it's just that I'm going to take some points. Now you can DM me or Mr. Thornton. You can upload your public service announcement or your video, whatever it is that you do, to your page, and you have to tag myself and Mr. T. All right? Or you want to just email it to me. You can do that. All right? My email address is on the screen. And if you don't know it by now, you should. And Mr. Thornton is there as well. Happy early birthday. Oh, that's your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Money for Jordan. Okay, we're going to be celebrating on your birthday. And if you wish to just text it to me directly, you can DM me here today for my phone number. And what I will say is this is because myself and Mr. Thornton are both iPhone users. If you had an iPhone and you made an iMovie, for example, you could just send us the iMovie. You can send us the iMovie. Good morning, Danae. She got about 15 E's after that, Mr. Thornton.
I stopped giving credit now.
Okay.
2:42.
Good
Well, good
morning.
morning.
All right, you can DM, you can actually send that project to me if you just want to send it to me by text. You can send it if you don't have my phone number, DM me. If you have an iPhone and you use iMovie, that's great because all you have to do is take different little videos, drop it all in iMovie, cut and slice it, put it all together, create a project. Right? It's simple to use. I think that they have some kind of capability on the Android phone to be able to create movies as well. But if you're using that and you want to text that video to me and you're an Android user, I would ask you to use the WhatsApp to do that to me. So that way your video is not distorted when it comes to me. And again, you would need my phone number. So you would just text me and DM if that's the way you wish to do. So again, you got a couple of different options. You can create the project yourself. You can DM it to us. Boom, done. You can upload it to your page, tag us. Boom, done. You can email it to either one of us. And it's done. Boom. Or you can text it to us. So please don't say you don't have a way to be able to send it because now you're not telling the truth. If I were you now, I'd probably take an opportunity to screenshot this part of the page so that you know. All right. We have just shy of about 2 minutes, just shy of 2 minutes. I am willing to take any questions that you might have. Again, this PowerPoint presentation will be on Instagram shortly after this video presentation is over. I will post up the rubric in both Canvas for you. All right. And again, this is taking the place of the writing assignment in packet 4 on page 19. By you doing this project, you do not have to do the writing if you are on the lives. If you also did not have to do the objective summary because you could do your poster on Poster My Wall and send it to us. Okay? So at this point, that is all that I have for you today. Again, packet 4, we dealt with activism and we talked about it. So instead of doing any of the writings in the packet, you had 2 multimedia presentation projects to do. The expectation was your poster should have been sent to me by now. If you haven't done it, you better do it.
Let me just
and
give
you
some
have
quick
until
reminders.
Monday to get this project in. Mr. Thornton?
quick reminders. You can go pick up your packets. Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
So you can pick up your packets from the school on Friday from 10 to 2, and then on Monday, May 4th, from 10 to 2. Well, of course, 11 to 2, because you'll be here with us from 10 to 11.
Yeah.
And then
And
Friday is the very last day that you can turn in work for quarter 3 for all of your teachers, not just for us. So please make sure that you have gone through all of your packets. If you had a bad grade during third quarter, focus on those classes so that you can turn that work into your teachers so that grade can be boosted. You can boost up to 2 letter grades in those classes if you turn in your third quarter work.
absolutely. So you want to make sure you do that, you guys. And I know in my class, I was specifically focused on packets 1, 2, and 3 in the third advisory. And that would take up your grade if you did work and you turned it in. If you sent it to us on DM, I have it already. Already put the grades in. If you put it on Canvas, I have it already. I'm putting the grade in. If you did a packet, I picked up the packets the other day from the school. I'm putting it in.
And remember that I have a class too that most of you are in. Please make sure that you are actually, getting the work to me as well, because you can get kind of double grades for the work for attending, for participating. You get those grades from me and from Ms. Radden. But I did ask for some vocabulary to be done. That's important. I'm looking at objective summary. So if you just need to pick and choose some things to do for Mr. Thornton's class, please make sure that you do vocabulary and objective summaries.
All right. And that would
Also,
be
Baloo, I think they can go to Baloo to pick up packets
every
throughout
day.
the week.
Every day from 10 to 2 at Baloo. You can pick up packets. You can drop off packets there as well. All right, you guys, that's all we have. We are 2 minutes over our time. We are going in. If you have questions, concerns, issues, I would tell everybody just watch the live over again. And if not, if you know it's just one point or area of confusion, feel free to send us a DM. All right. We love you guys. Have a great, great weekend. Work hard. Don't hardly work.
Bye.
Work hard. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.